Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back to VR Master League here on Channel 1. We've got another and the final North American match, and it is indeed the Final Frontier versus Attached. On the cast today, I'm Palidore, being joined by NightFiree as well. And yeah, welcome here in this final NA match in the Platinum/Gold division, right on that borderline. NightFiree, what's up?
I'm excited for, a good quality matchup today. It's what you get when you get into this kind of gold, diamond, platinum tier, and I want to see what kind of obviously skill level there is. I always say it as we go from maybe casting these master teams to then going down to the bronze and just kind of seeing what the whole ladder looks like. It's kind of a good way of checking out what we got in the middle tier, the middle of the pack. And we'll find out as we hop into our initial joust what kind of back and forth we are going to see as disc floats in the midfield as both teams fly by.
Yeah, we've had some great matches on stream. We were just talking about that before we went live as well. All evening long, master matches. We've had gold matches. We had round threes. We've had round three OTs. At least I have. It's been fantastic here as this first possession, just a wild exchange between these two, getting stuck in the midfield before Swoosh overtakes with a strong pass that ricochets back to the trap.
Yep, floating around in midfield, trying to gain possession here so they can set up for the attack. There is a good pass to the bottom of the zone and a nice back pass. Oh, the ender attempted but stunned out, and the clear up through the center. A pretty good one at that. It's going to push that disc all the way into the zone. Off the backboard, hits up to the top. Here's the follow-through. The stack's there to defend. The shot on goal goes wide, just a touch as it dings off the corner, but NATO's here to retrieve.
A tough miss there, tried to put the soft touch on it, tried to put a stronger touch on that one, but the perfect touch in the goal. It's boss plays, playing no games, the defensive play there to make at least a partial turnover, and then we'll actually go right back to them again. So another clear into the midfield that sneaks by a couple of defenders who do eventually get possession back, and it is NATO on that bounce down the floor quickly here on the recovery.
Man, they are relentless on this attack, but they can't find that goal. Another shot there that was an attempted backboard shot, but goes just a touch wide off of the backboard. Are able to retrieve it. VR Frontier gets his hands on it. A nice pass up to NATO, and that was a laser. NATO firing into that corner for two.
Yeah, swung around that goalpost like a tornado, and 2 points. So couldn't quite get the three, but still points nonetheless. Shout out to Twitch chat there, by the way. See Catboy Dfoot, who will be streamed later on, Invictus versus Leviathan. That's in about 2 hours from now for OCE. But yeah, welcome both of you guys. Glad to have you here as we continue on.
Yep, nice offensive rollout. Gets the disc very quickly up into the zone of Final Frontier, but the defensive dive stuns out. Didn't have the support of the squad to pass out of that conundrum, and, well, here comes the support of the squad. Oh, what a great juke. The full force of that defense. You can see them dive after the disc, and he shifts over to the shield and fires it off of it for two.
Nicely done to capitalize on defense, which can all converge back on the goal. So very quick decision making from them. Attached here on the blue team, worth noting for both these teams actually, the 7-4 record. So winning a lot more than they've lost thus far this season, but something has got to give. And well, right now that's a give up on the disc. Oh, but could not make it up with a shot. So right back to Final Frontier and the midfield.
Yeah, Sean trying to rotate there to open up the angle with that 180-degree spin, but when he went for the throw, it seemed like he hadn't maybe fully adjusted and ends up hitting off that geode. Either way, Attached are able to get their hands on the disc again and push it back over into Final Frontier zone, but not for long as this disc does get pushed up. That's a great pass off of the top there to NATO. NATO's going to fire it up for a shot on goal that just dings.
Oh, fortunately, that miss, at least if you're Attached. Glad that happened, but that said, got to get a grab in as Shad Money is in the tunnel, just eyeing them down, trying to contest, and just does a Matador move on Wolfeed before a pass off will just be sent to the wedge, where again, those piles are forming, and coming out of it is maybe with a numbers advantage. There's 4 players all diving on this lone goalie, and off the backboard, it's 4-2, and that was going to be a tough situation for that guy in the goal.
Yeah, not really sure what the right answer is there. The backboard shot is certainly a good one, because even if you do dive and commit for that the steal, you're exposing that backboard shot. And so they do finally get one in. Attached had plenty of shots on goal, and they do get one. Oh no, that was actually Final Frontier, excuse me. Attached are going to try and rebuttal though. as the shot does get scooped up, and that's a great clear from Final Frontier. Almost another shot up off of the trench there.
That's one of the few spots you can try and clear in terms of those midfielders, as that will be Frontier, just an open goal. So able to capitalize on that, and interesting because, I mean, three players for Final Frontier all got to that front line with plenty of time to spare. So for Attached, a little bit delayed on some of their stacks, unable to recover in time. Which, again, when there's three players on the opposite team who made it back, you figure that probably shouldn't happen. So maybe just a communication mishap there.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines. Maybe some good stun work on the backside. Who knows? But yeah, it was a long while there while that team had the opportunity to set up. And another good pick from Final Frontier. And another good clear downrange. They're here just before defense is. But the shot goes wide. There's a good save from Sean Money. Prevents that one from going in off the backboard. And he's going to send this one over to the side. There's a nice steal from NATO. He's made 1 point or 2 already. And he's going to go for the dodge there. NATO finds the corner from the backboard under pressure.
You know, that was good discipline from the defense of Attached most of the way there. Didn't get baited into the stuns or anything like that. And I had made the save that first time around on what I believe was a one-armed Wolfie momentarily. Looked like that first drive was just a one-arm kind of drive. But still yet, despite the good discipline, it was just better focus coming in from Final Frontier to capture their goal. They're up by a couple goals here, so Attached could use one soon. Otherwise, it'll be a few too many offensive opportunities in a row for Final Frontier.
Uh-oh, a tough back pass. A mistake there does get punished. Shot on goal off the backboard goes just a touch wide. There's a good dive from Sean to scoop up that attempted clear, almost waiting, ready for it. And the full force of this defense is here. What a great snag, but Boss Plays follows up his shot and forces that one in.
And no treaties there for NATO. Boss Plays just getting violent. Quick dunk after the initially nice save. Always gonna hurt a goalie, but it's going to be great for the offense of Attached. And also hello to Real Zeros in the chat, one of our not only moderators, but of course championship players here, and we'll be seeing in a couple hours.
Love to see it. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Appreciate all the folks tuning in tonight. And so far, a pretty good game. I mean, this is close. This is still within reach for Attached. We're only we're into that back half of this round, but they've been doing good on defense in this back half. They've been preventing these attempts from coming through. That clear would have been huge. But VR Frontier scoops it up. There's a great snag from Lethal, and off to the races goes Attached.
I love that stackage, and I love the leech also from both these players for both orange and blue. They were just, again, well disciplined. They're looking for their mobility, not getting too caught up in the brawls, trying to secure that disc before it went into that danger zone. As I say that, though, it's in the trap zone, and now taking it into the mid zone where NATO is able to recover, but only for so long as some more stuns. Lethal Hobo in that back line doing a pretty good job, actually, on the brawls the last minute or so.
Yeah, and really good intercepts coming in here, very fast. Oh, that pass goes a bit too low. I think it was the cross there to NATO, but either way, NATO able to fly back and scoop it up, keep it in the hands of Final Frontier, keep this attack coming, and sets it up for round 2. Lord Renardo fires up that pass, and the one-on-one is tough to defend.
Certainly is. I always refer to that. There's exceptions, but anytime you have less than 4 players in the goal, or anytime you can just walk it in on a goalie without having to worry about people right on your feet or on your face, I consider that a numbers advantage. One-on-one in the goal to me is a numbers advantage. That said, there's exceptions to every rule. There are certain goalkeepers in the game, and several of them, in fact, from OCE, actually, who I would say it's not an advantage, but nonetheless, VR Frontier going to work this up, and they've got a nice advantage, but the disc advantage to Boss Plays on a great recovery.
Yeah, one-on-one not working out there. A very nice snag, a tough one to make, and a great clear that comes through. The stack is also here, but wow, NATO comes pushing through the goal. Says peekaboo, I'm here, and scoops it up. The rebound. Back to Attached, though. They're going to keep trying to attack.
Aggressive defense. But in the last second, it's Sean Money in the right place, right time. Had the walk-in goal as a result. They're back within 4.
We're into that 2-minute drill, Pally, and we are now, well, halfway through it as we do get to the final minute of this round. And, well, a good dive is going to mean a lot right here. A good steal is going to mean everything right here. We'll see what they try to come through. You see that stack flying past the QB a little bit late, and here's some good passing from Final Frontier to work their way up into the attached zone.
And trying to just play this right, find the good angles. Good shield there from the boss. Can they get the save? Well, it won't be necessary as it does sail into the opposite lane. Not needing a score necessarily for Frontier, but if they can get one for attached here, they still might be in it with a little bit of time to spare, but tapping it out, it's Lardo Renardo, and that may be in itself a game-winning type of clear because that wasted a good chunk of clock in these last seconds.
Yep, and there's another clear from Frontier. That one actually dings around a bit, but yeah, mathematically out of time to score this one back, but wow. A nice three. A nice three to keep it close. Not going to be enough. That clock will tick down, and this first round is still going to go to Final Frontier, but momentum, right, Pally? We talk about it all the time. Momentum means a great deal, and hey, who knows where round 2 leads us with only a 1-point difference here.
Yeah, of course. That is a great way for the boss plays, who is the captain here of this team. And yeah, just a nice way, like you said. I say it maybe a lot, maybe too much, but it's true. Anytime a team can end the round the right way, oftentimes a high percentage of the time, the next round start, you'll see them also start the right way. It's just, that's the kind of two-faced nature of sports in general. It's just that mental game just as much as the physical and mechanical.
Yeah, and hey, I mean, we've seen a lot of best of threes already today. Who's to say we're not going to get another one right now? Who's to say round 2 won't be the reverse score line? I saw some good plays there from attached, I think really in the second half. They had a tough time scoring. You know, that 8-2 deficit is rough, and they really did manage to close that gap well. It was in danger of getting run away there for a moment from Final Frontier. At the gate, they really came out strong.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that's also another one of the factors, too. For both of these teams, I was happy to get here today because it is the first stream from Attached all season with that impressive 7-4 record in that Platinum Division currently for Final Frontier. Awesome. This will be only their second stream, and again, 7-4 record. So on stream or off stream, both teams have been killing it, and sometimes the question is, when they haven't been streamed often, how do you feel out the gate? Are you a little nervous? Do you think about it too much? Sometimes it's a factor, but then once you get into the thick of the round, you start warming up and you really see what the metals are made of as well. That is a big 3 from Sean Money. That's cash.
And, I mean, we are in to the thick of the round. That is a heck of a start for Attached. And I don't even think miscommunication, just he identified a gap there. They played a slow rollout. They played defensive rollout. They allowed that joust to go to Attached, and even then, with all 4 of the players prepared, for him to find that gap is really amazing.
Oh, definitely, but talk about the gap. Oh. Well, they found the goal undressed. It's Lardo Renardo, ties it up at 3.
Nice. You know, Attached, their stacks coming back have been slow. They were getting back in time in the back half of round 1, but this was something that we saw in the first half of round 1 where they were just not getting back in time to defend, and oh man, almost a intercept off of a very quick rollout from Final Frontier right on top of the QB of Attached, and there's a great slap back to keep this thing inside the zone of Final Frontier.
And maybe it sets them up for some opportunities, but NATO actually able to get a clear. Still, though, quickly is that stack. Swoosh and Sean Money trying to get back into the mix. Great leech. Again, got to compliment the discipline to not get too caught up in being brawled out and being baited into those. You see that sometimes, and now it's just into the goal on the defense. They shovel pass on over underneath the arms and underneath the boot, trying to kick it out of there. Sean Money able to do just that as they will leech down the floor.
Oh, and this is a great mail slot shot opportunity that goes just a touch wide. Almost another 3, Pally, getting sunk in there, but not quite. And I always get a little nervous on those back passes.
Yeah, every now and then you'll see it not work out all too well, but kind of the balance, I suppose, and the chaotic one it is at some junctures, especially with how fast these teams are these days. You see how fast that they had to get rid of it there. Sean Money slapping into the trap. Meanwhile, great recovery. The boss plays. Oh, that's 2 goals now where they could have pulled ahead by a few points, and yet they are persistent as ever, getting that disc right back. A pass rather, right to the backboard, slipping it through, and then a slap out to that midfield where it's looking like maybe another attempt, but no, actually, a light boosted player able to slap it into the trap for Final Frontier.
Not sure what happened there. It looks like someone's been eating too many Butterfingers, though. That disc flopped out at the back of the hand, and now it's an attack opportunity for Final Frontier. Fortunate enough that this defense is back for attach. They can contest. Not going to be an open goal 3 just yet. There's a good stack that comes flying in, forcing the pass, and everyone is home to defend.
And right in the defense indeed, Sean Money, who's played rather well this round so far and doing some defensive jobs there. Unfortunately for Final Frontier, a very haphazard kind of clear. This is going to actually enable a nicely positioned offense. They have an opportunity. They can make it, but just not there. So a little bit of that, those jitters, maybe the focus not quite on where they want it to be, but they are recovering. Credit to them. They're able to get these extra opportunities, looking for maybe one more pass delivery. Perfect to swoosh from the boss plays. Highlight material right there.
You'll love to see that connection come through, and yeah, a great play for Swoosh and the boss plays. A nice again connection over through that center. Follows it up with that dunk around the corner, and yeah, that's what it takes, right? You have to get up in the face of this defense, because Final Frontier, they have put up a good defense. And oh, there's an open goal 3 opportunity. Speaking of, can't quite find it. And sometimes, Pally, those are the hardest ones to make. Those goals that are just sitting there open, ready to be shot into.
Yeah, because as opposed to the usual, hold on, that is a 3 just being missed. Glancing blow, rebound off the goal, and in 2 for the 2, and it's 7-3. What a great start for Attach in this comeback round, able to get it going the right way. And as just to finish on your point there too, see, when you're able to act naturally and react naturally, kind of easier sometimes, just like that, right? It's not necessarily the easiest plays they just did, but because it was just reaction as opposed to thinking about it, they made it look beautiful.
Yeah, that was just a muscle memory reflex slap off the backboard for a 2, and that's, a great shot that is not easy to make. I mean, even under pressure, so we'll see if Attached can continue to push up in this round. They are definitely bouncing back nicely from a tough loss. They're going to continue to pile on. Another 2 here. And, well, 6 points, a 6-point lead is nice, but this was what Final Frontier had last round, and they nearly lost it.
Yeah, and still, a great start for them. I mean, they're at least in the position now, compared to last round, where they have a buffer. They don't feel like every single joust, they're the ones having to react to what the other team just did. Right now, they have the other team feeling that heat and kind of on that back burner. Look at this, another turnover potentially. So that momentum has shifted. They are playing aggressive, they are playing poised, and they are in position perhaps if they get that cutter going, right for the stun. That goal is going to be open, but the angle too tough. So unfortunate missed opportunity will enable VR Frontier to get back on the front of that tier, and they're trying to make a play happen.
Yeah, I think he was searching for some kind of angle off the backboard there. Couldn't find it from his trajectory, but a good follow-up comes through, and that's a crazy save from Boss Plays. Snags that shot off the backboard. A great read and then a great clear. He did all the work.
End-to-end, literally, NightFiree. A very nice pin-off on that save right in the bottom pocket backboard play. Somehow just got all the way to the front line by himself.
Was it off a leech?
Yeah, I mean, look, Leech, a stack point is here. The boss plays, is a boss, leading by example, clearly.
Wow, that is a great, put that one in the highlight book, boss. You don't want to keep that one around. That was a great play. And, well, we'll see if, again, as we get closer into this back half, Final Frontier can kind of get something going. They've only had that open goal 3 come through, and otherwise they haven't really had an opportunity even to pressure inside the zone of Attached. Maybe once or twice, but Attached had put up a great bit of defense. And here they are again with the boss.
Wow.
Coming through that goal to save it and almost full clear it out. A great steal from Lethal, puts it into Attached possession. Stuns abound, though, and Final Frontier continue the attack. Boss can't get that one. His arms don't extend across the arena. And finally, Final Frontier find it too.
What a shot there from Wolfie. Again, a turnaround right underneath, between the legs almost. I don't know what you'd call that. Reverse granny shot, perhaps, but either or. That was a slammer. 11-5, back on the scoreboard, much needed. And shout out to Oculusator by the by there, also pointing out and complimenting the reads by Attached that have been very, very well done. And high praise indeed coming from a top-tier player from the Kings. So I'm sure they'll love to hear about that when they watch the VODs later on.
Yeah, no kidding. And maybe we could call it a grandpa shot.
Sure. I guess I'm just the old basketball applications again. I get lost in them, but
I was thinking reverse granny. I don't know, grandpa. Go with that.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Quick tip: do you know those quote unquote granny shots? They're actually the best way to shoot a free throw. Just no one does it because the granny connotation, I guess. But actually, the best way to shoot it. I mean, it's statistically proven. It's a very efficient shot.
Okay, well. Don't count it out, and certainly don't count it out in Echo. Mail slot shot comes through. NATO closing this gap, Pally. This lead doesn't feel so good no more.
Yeah, well, I'm sure for Attached, they're looking a little bit like the end of NATO's name there, kind of that goat face, wide-eyed. That said, 1 minute 35, 34, and counting. So first of all, prioritize control as always. Second of all, if you happen to lose it, do not allow a three-pointer, because that is how you're going to get them back in for a potential game winner otherwise.
Yeah, and they're going to be hunting for it. Off the shield here, trying to be outside the zone. No, the pass to the back of it. Maybe almost expecting that shot, I think, as NATO's there for the pass instead, and a quick two. That was a great answer back. And to your point, Pally, I mean, yeah, we're into this final 2 minutes. We're into the second half, back half of it. Only 1 minute left, and Attached are allowing Final Frontier to creep in here. And again, they need this win to push this to a best of 3. Otherwise, the series is done. Final Frontier, take it.
Yeah, and so I like this. Again, the poise that they're showing here. There's a lot of stackage that was going on initially. But that said, the backstack causing damage as it tends to do. So an opportunity, but sailing past too strong there on that clear, that bounce. So bouncing them up here, and all the players now converging on the floor. A pass deep down to Frontier. Frontier looking to push ahead, flying into the goal, but no, taken out by Boss Plays, and that is an important clear that does squeeze by as the stacks form with only 17 seconds remaining, and a deep fling down that mail slot. And not a success, but they're hanging on by 1 point, NightFiree.
Yeah, it is not a lot, but it is enough right now as they burn this clock down. 5 seconds tick away as the disc floats in the midfield. And yes, indeed, we are headed to a round 3, Pally.
Oh, don't we love it? So we were hoping, and the hopes have been answered. Both teams showing up, and they are well warmed up, but especially Attached, who played although they lost a little bit towards the end, that heat started getting back. Most of that round, they were stifling, and just an impressive way to come back after a tough, narrow loss in that first round. Like what I saw, and I'm going to hydrate now, courtesy Catboy. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I got my sip of tea in already, and hey, I was close. So I said we'd see a reverse 9-10, but instead 10-11. Still a 1 point lead, but reverse nonetheless. And I mean, really, it was literally a reverse of round 1, Pally. They Attached came out, they had a solid lead, and then they could not hold on to it. They nearly lost that round 2, but I guess did hold on to it in the end as they take that second round. And yeah, gosh, I gotta wonder what this third one's gonna get. I guess more of what we just got. You know, I really can't anticipate these teams shifting up too much on their strategies. Both of them have been playing well. NATO did come out with some momentum at the end of that round, and so maybe Attached might feel a little timid. Who knows on what their rollout's going to look like here, but we don't have to wait too much longer, Pally. We're diving into this round 3 joust.
Absolutely. We'll give you guys a quick look for posterity on the scoreboard there. Apologies that this week our stats have been a little bit inconsistent, kind of doubling up sometimes, so we're working on it, rest assured, but for the sake of the stream, there you go. The stats reads read for you guys. A lot of impressive ones on the line as the first stack is taken by Attached, and Lethal Hobo now on this drive does have Swoosha at the bow tie if necessary.
Yep, there's the pass. Oh, and it's just a touch high. It's just a touch high. They're lucky that doesn't get punished, though. Where is the defense for Final Frontier? Attached had 3 in zone, and I think that's off the head No, Swoosh does find that in. Yeah. Where's the pass?
Oh, got the pass and the immediate shot right after. Did change colors right on the way in, but doing a little bit of body blocking was Swoosh. I couldn't actually tell if it was a grab or a cargo, as Oculusator asking there. Might have been one, might have been the other. Either way, it's 2 points, and that is indeed the point for Attach to get on the scoreboard first, and maybe about to get on it again.
A big steal.
Whoa!
What a shot, Swoosh! That was a shot. That was
He put that there. And I think they've been looking for that for a while. I think they've been hunting for that angle several times today already. They just haven't hit it.
Yeah, it's a makeable spot, and it's one of those shots you do actually see people attempting more and more, especially sometimes when that barrier nest gets in the way. If you can find those corner angles, it is a shot that's possible to make, and people getting better at it from top to bottom. Master or Golden Platinum or otherwise, these players and these teams have that 7-4 record for a reason, and trying to find a reason to go ahead even more. They do! There's 3 from Sean Money, assisted by Swoosh off the indirect route, taking the good positioning and turning it into a return goal.
That was a great rebound from Sean. And I mean, he took that. I got to look at the replay. That shot may have gone inches away from the outside of the zone. He couldn't have waited any longer to take that shot to make it a 3, but does nonetheless. And just as the defense was pushing into the bubble. So great job from that team to follow up on it and Attach again, finding the intercept. This is what they did in round 2. They piled on an early lead, although this time it is much bigger. 8-0 now. No answer back yet from Final Frontier. They were looking to get more, but finally, Final Frontier have gotten themselves an opportunity to attack. Not for long.
And taking a wall shot as well, so trying to pull out some tricks, but of course, dangers of that will take a lot of heat and a lot of power off that shot, making it easier for Stacks to get back. And that said, Wolfie taking it back, they need some scores rather quickly. And for that matter, I was kind of expecting, after that last goal, maybe even a timeout. It's kind of getting to that point where if one more goes in, this could, I mean, we're only 3 minutes into the round. This could get really ugly fast.
You know, I think some teams forget they have that option. But then I think also some teams want to just kind of barrel through it. They really want to just get a point on the board, and it can work against you because you can open up opportunities. Attached, almost putting more points here on the board as we speak. That was almost a 3 from the bottom of the zone. Did not go in. There's a good pass to the top. There's a good shot that dings off the corner. A rebound here. No, a clear out to the side. That floats around, and we're still vying for disc. As here's the full force of this Final Frontier defense. They're all flying out. This is going to be a heavy attack.
And maybe an open goal. It's a tough angle, though, so maybe have a pass attempt. I mean, the numbers are in their favor. Couldn't find the pass. The rebound, same result, same place off that corner pole. A rebound now again, midfielded by Frontier. Looking for that pass, and they need to find those extra ones right about now. Those angles have been tough and tougher yet, so what do you do when all else fails? You walk it in for a dunkaroo. Shout out Andy W, 8-2.
Yeah, and I mean... The boss plays is just on one right now. He has been putting up some fantastic defense, getting back in time. He's got 5 saves already, but he has just been there when they need it the most for all of these shots on goal. He's done a great job interrupting, and he couldn't get that one. The dunk, not an easy one to deny, but Attached are looking to answer back. An interesting shot up to the top, and a fantastic save from NATO.
Well, that is a big save, and NATO's already had some earlier on, of course. They've been sparser on the scoring end of things than they would have liked, and they're going to have to defend another time. So sent into the pole, uncontested. So a missed assignment will be declined, and declined again and again. Frontier out of there, no, into the self-goal just about as it's rebounded. Lethal trying to kill him, but no, that injection is off. It's into the midline, and maybe an injection of momentum, of adrenaline. And is it in? Yes, it is! VR Frontier brings it within 3.
I mean, just a situation that devolved into something chaotic, to say the least. An attack there, 2 or 3 shots really, and then just a brawl inside the zone. Everybody hunting, the shots going wide, people throwing fists hectically at the back of that zone, and somehow Final Frontier come out with 3 points from that chaos, trying to now prevent Attach from rebuttaling again as they set up again for the attack. A shot goes wide there. This one almost clears itself.
Okay, we've seen a couple of these now. These plays, a big Dusty being put in by Boss Plays, however, so hold that thought and hold that disc, hold that shot. It's 10-5 and right back at them. They do indeed get that rebuttal. I was about to say they needed that Nightfire because I know they had the lead, but we've seen in the last few plays, the last minute and a half or so, a little bit of that chaos, as Pamo mentions in the chat, where you can see that rhythm beginning to shift. So that's a good stabilizer for Attached.
Yeah, it really is. And gosh, this series turning out to be a good one to tune into today, Pally, as these two duke it out fist by fist, trying to brawl their way through. There's a nice pass up. Final Frontier answering back. Shot off the backboard goes wide, not getting what they were looking for. I think that was a 3 attempt outside the zone, but doesn't follow through. Now, again, another attack as NATO gets the rebound. The whole squad flies into the zone. The passes go up, but a good bit of stun work there. Prevent that pass from connecting. Some good leeches disrupting the Attached defense from getting this rebound, keeping Final Frontier in it. Oh, there's a good intercept, though. Key intercepts, almost a shot on goal from Sean, but it goes just a touch wide. And again, a brawl at the back of this zone. This time, Lethal finds that shot. I think that was almost, what was that a behind the back off the wall? It almost looked like one.
Oh, it's definitely a tight angle up there, but kind of turned around after the grab right into the goal from that clock area. Pushes them up a little more after 2 in a row. There's still 1/3 of this final round remaining, so not out of the woods yet, certainly, although looking better by the minute is Attached. Turnover here could really cause some serious damage in any comeback efforts, but fortunately, NATO will get it back for at least a second as they boost down the floor now.
Yeah, able to push it up into the zone of Attached for what was a brief moment. There's a quick clear that works well for Attached, and oh no, a miss on that grab. Sean not there to scoop it up, and so it is going to be another attempted clear, but that one floats back up to the likes of Attached, and Lethal Hobo passes it down. Sean Money trying to set something up with the back pass here. It doesn't work out. Lardo Renardo is there. The clear comes in. Almost a shot on goal there. That crazy angle coming through goes just a touch wide, and NATO follows up his clear with a shot of his own.
All right, so they are back within 5, so could get back with a 3 and a 2. Only 2 minutes remaining, though. So clock not the friend exactly of Final Frontier, but they know until that final buzzer, they've got to keep going on and try to cause some disruption on this joust now.
Yeah, and again, this 2-minute drill becomes really important. You know, we've seen crazy shifts in score lines in these last 2 minutes already in this series, but all throughout today. And so if they can bounce back, oh, it would have been good. But Attached, that's exactly what they needed to do. Really prevent Final Frontier from closing this gap. Now we're at a 3-goal lead.
Place with a purpose there, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 7-point difference. This will be all the more tough. I know it's technically still time, but that is a clutch play if I've ever seen one there in that bottom pocket, and able to do it not only the pocket, but just against a defender in the face and a defender in the goal. With that quick launch, they needed it, could not find it just beyond the grasp.
Again, those open goals, sometimes the toughest to make, and that 3 was there staring at him, but didn't get sunk in, and now they're going to go for that too, go for the attack, try and work around the Boss Plays, but they're having difficulty. Finally, off the rebound, Lardo puts in the 2, but 5 points in 30 seconds. All Attached need to do is just hold on to the disc here, and the round and the series is theirs.
Yeah, just basically a few seconds, and any kind of successful clear or brief stall should guarantee this win. So barring a turnover right there, basically, is where they needed it to happen. And, goal is open, but it has to be at this point. They had to be aggressive. Time is out of the contention for a comeback at this point. So now just the ending points, I suppose, for Sean Money, stamping it 16-9. Attached can now detach and relax after what was a tense match.
Yeah, that was a hard-fought series coming in from Attached. And I really think they got to give that MVP to the Boss Plays. In my opinion, those last 2 rounds, he really came alive. Great saves, that full end-to-end score for that really lead in round 2. He they played fantastic today with just, again, great saves and scoring.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many big stat lines on that, but I can't disagree either, because not the highest scorer per se, but you look at 7 points and 4 assists, so facilitated plenty of goals. Not to mention the 5 saves. That's the thing. Those saves would turn into goals on the other end. So I mean, very impressive work for sure from a multitude of players. But that said, you know, to have your team captain be able to show up like that and, like I said, kind of lead by example and do a little bit of everything on the floor, it's what you like to see, and it's what helped them will them to the win.
Yeah, no, definitely a team effort. Not to say that it was just because Boss plays. You could obviously see Sean Money and Swoosh putting up some good points there in this series, but you know, great overall from both squads, really. I mean, Final Frontier coming out strong, even competing close into round 2, keeping it tight. And we got into that final 2 minutes, Pally, with only a 5-point lead for Attach. So there was an opportunity even in this final round for Final Frontier to do something. So
yeah,
a great 3 rounds overall from them. And to the point, they've got some footage now to look back on and kind of analyze and pick apart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the nice values of these streams, especially for two teams who, as I said, have only been streamed once, I believe, for Attached. So, I mean, being able to get a look at that footage, a review, look at the mini-map, get all the positioning, figure out what went wrong, what could have done better. Even reading some comments from the Twitch chat at times can give you an idea. We see Oculus Satyr there saying, and actually kind of on the similar train of thought, I didn't say it, but I was thinking, low-key could have owned gold twice in that last minute. Problem is, I don't know. I know it's a controversial topic these days. It's like, what? My team was like the first to do it way back when, and I just can't help but think sometimes, what have we done? But technically, the own goal could have been a thing to deny any 3-pointers in those last 30, 40 seconds or so. But yeah, either or though. I mean, I'm impressed. I know you and I were talking about it just before we started this stream. How top to bottom, it just seems like those ranks are really being fleshed out so nicely, and the teams learning so much more. And yeah, it's a pleasure to cast. That's why I'm happy to do it, and same for all of us here, because we can watch that steady development and turning Echo Arena's competitive scene into just something massive and impressive.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone that hung out today and enjoyed the series in the chat. We appreciate you, and we do it for you. So if you're not following already, hit that follow button. And it is September. Subs are half off. Think about it. It's right there.
There you go. Yeah. Well, shout out on that note as well to Far yesterday, who put in the 100 gifted subs. That was insane.
That was nuts.
you can see him right there on the leaderboard for the month. And yeah, I'm sure that would be a record that sustains for a while. Oculus Satyr saying not doing so is a bit of a throw. Yeah, I won't disagree with you there either. I mean, okay, like end of the day, when it comes to those various strategies, like the stall, for instance, like the own goal, like catapult lists or PE joust, right? Where even though now it's commonplace and it's accepted, at first it was a little bit controversial in the early Echo Arena days. But I pretty much agree with you. It was one of those cases where when I was playing, we always said if these things ever got patched out or taken away, or like the neutral joust, when teams used to neutral joust after every single goal, right? And it was a big advantage for great jousting teams. But it's like, if they ever take it away, that's fine, that's fair, and that's kind of my opinion. But it's like, as long as it's in the game and it's acceptable, it's by the rules, I do agree. It's also something that you want to take advantage of, right? You're playing smarter, not harder, and you're taking full advantage of the tools and the things that are enabled to you as a player. So you're not wrong on that either. But I know some people would have words to say also. So it goes both ways. Anyway, yeah. Any last words there, Knight? Sorry about the history lesson, I suppose, but I get nostalgic sometimes.
That's good stuff. No, just a great series, and like you said, these teams really developing well. Impressive to see this level of skill coming in. I mean, great passing and great plays, crazy defense, fun to watch. So I'm a happy camper.
All right. Well, on that note, so am I. This will be the end of the round. I'll get those channel points to you guys in just in a second here. Reminder, we do have at minimum one more match, probably more later on. But that said, an hour and 15 minutes from right now, we will have a OCE match at the master level. That is to say, we have our reigning defending two-time champions in Leviathan facing off against Invictus. Not too far behind up the ladder. These teams in OCE, they're getting a lot tighter in competition this season, I've noticed.
Yeah.
So you're in for a fun one. And we see a lot of that presence there from both teams, Leviathan and Invictus, in the chat here tonight. So join me for that one, and there'll be probably more after that even. But until then, I've been Palidore, NightFiree. Thank you for joining me.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone at home, be happy, be healthy, be safe, be good to each other. To our NA folk, have a good night. And to you OCE folks, I'll see you very soon.
And we're underway.
Season 4 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VRware, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, and ProTube VR.